Welcome to Moments with Marianne. This is your host, Marianne Pastana, and we're here today with special guest, actress and animal activist Katie Cleary, who's here to share with us her upcoming film, Protectors of the Wild. Using her celebrity profile for good, Katie Cleary is a leader in animal welfare for our generation. She is the founder of the animal welfare organization Peace for Animals. Katie is also the creator and producer of World Animal News, which covers news-breaking stories around the world. And she is the executive producer of the award-winning documentary Give Me Shelter, available on Netflix. So welcome to the show, Katie Cleary.
Thank you for having me.
Well, what an honor it is to have you here and to talk about the work that you're doing in regards to animal welfare. What even got you started on this path?
Well, it was when I was about 11 years old in Chicago. Grew up with a single mom, and she really loved big cats, and so she gave me this big cat book, and I studied it from cover to cover. And I thought, this is what I want to do for my future. I really want to focus on endangered species, and specifically, we started with tiger conservation when I was about 11 years old, raising funds for tiger conservation to help protect them in the wild. So at that time, there was only, I think, 2,500, and now I think it's approaching 5,000 tigers, which is good. It's not where we want it to be, but hoping in the future, we'll increase the numbers, and along with other species like elephants and rhinos, all these species facing extinction, essentially.
There's just so much work that needs to be done there. And so let's talk about your first movie, Give Me Shelter. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So Give Me Shelter was just an epiphany I had, actually, along with World Animal News, our news network, and also our charity, Peace for Animals. And so one day I woke up and I thought, I feel like my mission is not being fulfilled. And I felt like, when I was a young girl, I always knew I was going to be working with animals, and I didn't know to what capacity. So whether it was going to be a veterinarian, a zoologist, or just start my own foundation one day. So this epiphany, I woke up and I thought, I need to do more. I grew up in entertainment as well. So I grew up modeling and acting at a young age, and I thought maybe I can use my platform to raise awareness for the animals, for endangered species. So I called up my best friend at that time, and I thought, would you want to help me direct this film that had an epiphany about, called Give Me Shelter? And she said, absolutely. So she moved out to LA and she helped me um, uh, you know bring it to fruition. Took about 3 years to do it, and I used my savings from a commercial that I shot that kept airing for 7 years. And I thought, I have all these residuals, maybe I can use this to produce this documentary. So I did, and we sold it to Netflix in 2015.
Congratulations. That's such a
Thank
big
you.
deal. And
Thanks.
what's so great, it's out there for people that can really dive into what is going on with our large cats.
Yeah, exactly. And it covers all species. It covers elephants, rhinos, illegal wildlife trafficking. It covers the fur trade, the cosmetics industry. Cruelty to animals. I mean, you name it. We cover everything in Give Me Shelter. And then this newest documentary that we finished a couple of years ago, called Why on Earth, is the follow up to Give Me Shelter. And this time we're on the ground in Africa, Indonesia, all these countries, interviewing the people firsthand that are saving animals. And we got Clint Eastwood to be the face and voice of it last minute. It was right before the pandemic hit, and yeah, I asked his daughter. I said, "Would your dad want to be interviewed?" Because his daughter was in our first film, Give Me Shelter, and she said, yeah. She said, let's see if he'll want to be in the film. And so we went up there to film him for the day, and it was wonderful. So he kind of completed Why on Earth.
What a great film that is. And it's just so touching to
Oh,
watch that film. I was so taken aback by just cinematography. All of it was done so very well. You really brought that together.
thank you. Yeah, that one took 4 years, and we raised a lot of funding through Peace for Animals for that one. But the newest one we're working on is about wolves. So we covered, like, the second documentary was all the species, and now we're focusing on individual species, and those that are in most need of our voice right now.
Well, on that note, we're going to pause here for a quick break. We've been speaking with Katie Cleary in regards to her new upcoming film, Protectors of the Wild. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors.
Are you a coffee lover who wants to make a difference? Look no further than Fire Department Coffee, a veteran-owned business that gives back to support first responders in need. Each batch of coffee is freshly roasted right here in the USA by a dedicated team of first responders and coffee experts. So when you enjoy a cup of Fire Department coffee, you're not only drinking high-quality coffee, you're supporting members of your community. Start your day with a coffee that gives back. Visit firedepartmentcoffee.com. That's fire, D-E-P-T, coffee.com.
There comes a moment when you realize you're somewhere special. When you discover that each beautiful creature that you see has been rescued from a life of absolute horror and brought to this incredibly free place. Here's where their lives were forever changed and where yours will as well. Discover over 500 tigers, bears, and lions at the brand new visitor center at the Wild Animal Sanctuary just outside Denver. For more information, visit wildanimalsanctuary.org. Discover true freedom at the Wild Animal Sanctuary.
It's one thing to become attached to your perfect home, but what do you do when that home becomes attached to you? A family in dire need of a fresh start, a mysterious house tied to the past. Buried deep within the foundation of the old Far Hill Manor lies a centuries-old secret. Dark forces or something stronger just waiting to be discovered. Caretaker, a supernatural thriller by breakout authors R.J. Halpert.
Internationally recognized and award-winning author Judy Goodman works and teaches outside the box of limited thinking. Working with people from every walk of life, her goal is to empower you to be the best you can be, no matter what the challenge is. Born with the gift of seeing beyond our normal vision, she has an extraordinary gift of working with every challenge. Teaching beyond conventional wisdom, her work is described as life-changing. Visit judygoodman.com. That's judygoodman.com.
I'd like to thank Jason Eastwood at Guitarfulness for sharing his inspiring music and talent with us. His music is known worldwide for cultivating atmospheres of harmony, inner peace, and clarity. Visit Jason's website at guitarfulness.com. Join his newsletter, be part of his community, and download his music. Welcome back to Moments with Marianne. We're here today with special guest, animal activist and actress Katie Cleary, who's here sharing with us her upcoming film, Protectors of the Wild. So what made you decide to focus solely on wolves?
Well, it was another epiphany I had. I have a tremendous faith in God and Jesus, and I feel like, if I really, kind of calm myself, meditate, and pray, I get messages. And I thought, wolves were, I don't know, it was calling me. I can't put my finger on it. I just thought this is an issue that is, these animals are so misunderstood. This is an issue that has not really been focused on before. I mean, a little bit here and there, but I don't hear of many people talking about wolves, or they always vilify wolves. And I thought we need to change the narrative here and really give them a voice, because they're being hunted to near extinction. There's only around 5,000 in the continuing United States, and so the rest of them being in Alaska, and they're being, people are in helicopters are sharpshooting them. They're being killed in their dens. The pups are being killed. It's just heartbreaking. And it's all for either trophy hunting or the meat and dairy industry, because they don't want them killing their cattle. And less than 1% of all cattle is killed by wolves. So it's not the wolves. But, we have to give them a voice.
It seems that when it comes to the cattle industry, they're probably like working on some old beliefs in regards to how wolves are, as opposed to the actual statistics.
Exactly. And so I think that it just gives them an excuse to kill them. And I mean, these are beautiful sentient beings. At one point, there were millions of wolves throughout the United States, and it's dwindled to now 5,000. I mean, that number is shocking. We have to do more to protect them, and the connection to our native land, and the Native Americans. I mean, they treasured them. They worshiped these wolves, and they lived side by side with them for thousands of years. So there's no reason now that they should be killed off. in the U.S. Because of the meat and dairy industry, or because of hunters or trophy hunters, whatever you want to say. I mean, it's just it breaks my heart, and that's why we're here. We're here to raise awareness and give these guys a voice.
So when is Protectors of the Wild kind of slated to come out?
Well, right now we're raising the funding to finish the second half of it. So we're finished with the first half, and we have the trailer all ready to go, and we're raising money to keep shooting. So we have a couple more locations to go to: British Columbia. We're going to go back to Yellowstone, and then we're going to go to New York and film at a sanctuary there. So I think I would give it another year, because it takes a lot of time to edit and also to sell the film. So I would say another year.
Well, then we can look forward to that. And for those
Yeah.
of us that want to help and participate to make sure that this film comes to life, where do we go to donate? How do we do that?
Yeah. If you guys would like to help, even, want to be a producer or executive producer on it, please donate to Peace for Animals. Any amount helps. That would be wonderful, because we really want to take this to the finish line, just like we did with Give Me Shelter and Why on Earth.
Well, Katie, where can our listeners connect with you and learn more about
Yeah.
your work and just be part of the community and everything, all the great things that you're doing?
Yeah, please connect with us on social media. I would say Instagram. Visit peace underscore for animals, and you can see the work that we're doing there. And then World Animal News is our news network. So we do breaking stories in, legislation, endangered species protection, farm animals, dog and cat rescue. We kind of cover it all on World Animal News. And then you can visit worldanimalnews.com.
Well, Katie, thank you for being such a bright light for the world and for animals, and for being on our show today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, and God bless.
Well, thank you, Katie. It has been such an honor to spend this time with you and to talk about your upcoming film, Protectors of the Wild. If you'd like to learn more about how you can donate to make sure that this film happens, visit katiecleary.com for more information. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. You've been listening to Moments with Mary Ann, where we make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Mary Ann is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Mary Ann will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmaryann.com for more information.